Stephan, could you tell us about Passive House in Germany?
Yes, there is a strong movement into energy efficient buildings all over Europe, and in Germany, I think from 2020, passive houses shall be the standard for new buildings.
And at the moment, what's the building standard in Germany, or how is it different from Passive House?
It's not far away from that, so we have regulations which are pushing the energy efficiency of buildings forward from year to year, more or less, and therefore we are not very far away from passive house standards. Nowadays, let's say a family home can be run on 2 kilowatts hours or 2 kilowatt energetical power regarding the heating system, and this is not far away from zero then.
And how expensive are passive houses or low energy houses to build in Germany?
As they are standard, they are not very far away in price per square meter than a low energy building. So you can reckon about putting it into Australian dollars for about 3,200 to $3,200 dollars per square meter you would receive passive house standard.
And what sort of house do you live in?
Pardon?
What sort of house do you live in?
Oh, me? I live in a very energy inefficient building from 1970, but it's very nice. So we've got double glazing, but not triple glazing, and wooden windows, and the energy consumption is quite high, so there's a lot to be done.
And are you going to start with air tightness?
Air tightness, the buildings at that time weren't airtight, so you can just try to put certain leakages, but I think the most important thing to bring the energy efficient forward is changing the windows to at least double, if better triple glazing with very good profiled windows, either from wood or from PVC.
And Colin, have you ever lived in a passive house?
Certainly not, no, and certainly I don't think anyone in Australia has, and so probably staying here would present a unique opportunity. But I think here in Australia the building regulations are very lax when it comes to controlling airflow through the building envelope. So you can put in wonderful windows that are double glazed, but unless you seal them effectively, you are completely wasting your money. And so you have to understand that the windows are just part of the solution, and you need a total solution to control the airflow through the building envelope. And I think here in Australia, energy has historically been very cheap and no one has worried too much. But there are all these benefits to gain from creating an energy efficient home. Partly they're the energy saving, but also it's the sheer comfort levels of living in a home where it is warm in winter and cool in summer, and at a very affordable amount of money. And it's just that the builders here really don't understand, and that the industry isn't regulated sufficiently to control. And this takes time to change a market, but we lag so far behind best practice here because there hasn't been any rigour to the building processes. So I think there is, a great opportunity for people who are interested in building energy efficient homes by looking at some of these opportunities.
So if you come into this building, you can already feel that comfort of living doesn't have to exclude energy efficiency. So this building is warm, it doesn't need to be heated, there is no draft, there isn't anything. So if not the effect of energy savings on their own, you even gain a lot of comfort by building, let's say, airtight and energy efficient.
I think also this style of property very much lends itself to remote locations where you have the issues of providing power in the first place. So if you are a long way from the grid, it's not normally cost effective to take electricity from the grid. Therefore you have to provide local solutions, be they local generators or turbines or photovoltaic. All of those cost money and have their limitations. And so starting off with building an energy efficient building makes it much simpler, and also said often in these locations they have the more extreme conditions in the high country where it's much colder, or out in the desert areas where you can get much higher temperatures, and therefore it makes a great deal of sense building an energy efficient property to start with. So I think the Superpod philosophy has great potential, particularly in remote areas. And it may not be for mainstream residential, but it certainly has applications even for granny flats and the like, where you're putting an energy efficient pod into the back garden. So I think there are many opportunities.
And high quality and approved materials have been used, and that means also an extended lifespan for such a kind of building, not even considering that you almost have an energy bill of zero.
Yes, and if it's portable, it will have good resale value as well. So I think it's certainly an interesting design philosophy with considerable relevance to the Australian condition. It's just that at this stage we don't understand these properties well enough.
Yes, that's what I think as well.
Thank you, Vienna.
Thanks for coming to visit us.
It was our pleasure. Thank you.